question is from Jennette Arnold about role models. Question number 2435.
Thanks, Jennette. This is a reasonable question. I think you're really asking about Ray Lewis, aren't you? Or am I mistaken in that?
I want you to set out your criteria.
Well, I don't have any particular criteria, right. But there are all sorts of people who can contribute a lot to London. If this is a question about Ray Lewis, and I'll answer about Ray, is that what you're trying to get at?
Yeah, I wanted you to answer my question, but if you're not going to answer the question, then let me...
Well, the question, in my view, is a little bit vague.
You don't use any criteria to select role models?
Well, I think people who can offer an inspiration to young people in London, who have a great deal to contribute, who are energetic and charismatic figures, should not be rejected out of hand. And if people have something to contribute, then I'm willing to give them a second chance. And that's my position on Ray.
Okay, because, and thank you, because you talked about inspiration. When I speak to young people, they talk about, like many people here, having been a mentor, they're seeking someone to look up to guide them, to inspire them. And so what I would like to do then as follow-up is to ask you to reconsider your appointment of Ray Lewis as head of your Mayor's 1000 Mentors project. And my reason for this is that, as you know, and we all know here, in 2008, Ray left this building in disgrace. He resigned from your office under allegations of financial irregularity and lying. Now, those are two characteristics that do not fit into a criteria for mentorship. So, what has changed? What do you know of in this man's activity that has changed since 2009? Because let me read to you what was said in the national paper recently in terms of his character, which shows me that nothing much has changed. In fact, what I'll put to you, Mr. Mayor, is that he's got worse. And what I would say to you is that coming out of this report, published in The Guardian, there was this man who you have promoted to high office that in the presence of young people was using racist and homophobic language. And I quote, to a young man in a group, "What are you looking at his bottom for, you batty boy?" Anyone who's been involved in the campaign to bring enlightenment and understanding to the Caribbean community, to move them away from hatred and abusive homophobic language like that, well, no, batty boy is not a phrase that should be used with young people. It's totally inappropriate. And then he goes on to then move on to another cultural group. You move like a punani. Again, there are communities who know that that is an incredibly offensive word to use, and it should not be used with young people. Someone has been going to the packy shop, he said to the young people. And who is guilty of this? Do you condone language like that with young people? And if you don't, well, then what have you done about it, and will you dismiss this man once again?
Well, let's be absolutely clear what Ray is doing. He's not come back as an employee to
It doesn't
City
matter
Hall.
that he is using your name.
Let the Mayor answer the question.
Can I possibly answer the question? I mean, and I'm content that he should, because I do believe that he has a great deal to contribute, because he's still, what hasn't changed since 2008 is that he's still continuing to do excellent work with young people in East London. These are people who, young males in particular, who are very hard to relate to sometimes, they're very hard to make emotional contact with, and he's extremely good at doing it. He has a high record of success, and I think if you do have someone of energy and who understands these issues, then why not give them a second chance? I accept all the language that you've just quoted from The Guardian. The Guardian is not necessarily, in my view, necessarily an unimpeachable source, but I will take it as read that those are unacceptable things to say. And but the fact is, I think that there are people who have a great deal to contribute, and I would be wrong as mayor if I didn't look all around London at all the talent that is available to me and do what I can to encourage it. And let's be clear, Ray is not the only person who is helping us on this. There are lots of people from all communities who are involved in this. I just happen to think that You know, he didn't work. It didn't work for him in a high-profile political role. That was absolutely clear. And as a deputy mayor, that didn't work.
Mr. Mayor,
but I do think, Jennette, that he has a great deal to offer.
Mr. Mayor, I put it back to you again that his association with this project and what you're doing is condoning, and you're saying that if this was a small group in his own centre, you're saying that it's okay for him to go around. No, this is inappropriate language, and it's language that is not acceptable.
Can I just say how much I understand what you're saying, but I really think that you have people in this city who are full of energy, who really care about the issue of gangs and knives and what's happening to kids, and they have something to offer. And time again, what you seem to want to do is to trip him up, to show him to have feet of clay and all the rest. And I'm sure you're right. Lots of people have feet of clay, but he has, in my view, a great deal to contribute. He deserves a second chance. I think that people who are willing to promote mentoring, who are willing to volunteer, to give of their own time in this way, deserve our support.
Mr. Mayor, I disagree with you, and I believe the majority of Londoners will disagree with you on this one. I have been there, and I continue to support you on a number of initiatives, City Year, the work that you're doing with your mayor's charity, and the people who you have brought into contact with this man. That action is absolutely disreputable, and I would ask you once again to withdraw your association from this man.
Well,
I don't take this position lightly. I just think it brings your office into disrepute, and what you're basically saying is it is okay to go out there and use racist and homophobic language as long as the cause is what? This is not appropriate behaviour.
Well, hang on. You're basing all this, Jennette, on one piece in The Guardian.
No.
I don't have any
I'm not at all.
way of corroborating what you're saying.
No.
As far as I can tell, he has a great deal to contribute. And the key point is that he's not on our payroll. He is volunteering to promote mentoring in London. I think that is a great cause. I think most Londoners will think that it's where we've got a problem in our city. We need mentors for young people, and there is Ray.
Mayor,
there are people who are willing to help out, and I think actually it's something that this organisation could have been involved in much more actively a long time ago, and I think we should be supporting it.
Chair, Mr. Mayor, you will get no support from any of the colleagues on that side of the floor, because they know and they will agree with me on this point. You are wrong.
Well, maybe I'm in a minority of one. Maybe I am, but I'm convinced that this is the right thing to do, and I'm going to continue down this course.